Hi, I'm Charlie DeBiase from the Staten Island Advance Sports Department. I'm a sports reporter. This is Tom Dowd, sports reporter, columnist. We're going to talk about the PSAL City Football Championship, which is this Sunday at Midwood High School Field in Brooklyn. The Curtis Warriors against the Canarsie Chiefs. Tom, the Curtis offense has been a strong point all year. They are fabulous. What are the keys for the Curtis offense, do you think, going into this game?
Well, right now they look unstoppable. Their first-team offense has really dominated teams. They put up, 30 points in the first half numerous times. And the key to it all starts with quarterback Don LeGrand and the running back Shaheen Alston. They've done something. Between the two of them, they've accounted for 65 touchdowns.
Incredible.
That's receiving, that's running, that's passing, that's interception, and kick and punt returns. And that's a phenomenal number. And so I think we're going to see a lot more of that on Sunday.
Canarsie, as usual, you can attest over the years, has been huge. They're always big. They're big again. They have a huge front. They focus on stopping the run, and they love putting pressure on the quarterback when the situation calls for it. Last week, a 34-22 victory by Canarsie. And, Tom, they stopped the run initially, and then they put tons of pressure on Jeremy Ramos, the quarterback for Port Richmond. They'll probably try to do the same thing again, and they have the ability to do it, but obviously Curtis is tough. If they stop the run, Curtis will be able to go to their passing game. It's not like if they, they have to pay attention to both things. It's not like if they stop one thing, okay, we got them stopped. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. And, the thing is, Curtis is a tough team to put pressure on because Don LeGrand is the best running quarterback in the city. Kid's got 22 rushing touchdowns.
Absolutely.
So, if you get some pressure on there, he can move around and he'll look for receivers. And he seems a little bit more committed this year to running when he gets pressure. He's not hanging back and just waiting for somebody to pop open. So, he will get it and go. And if you're a defense, that's a dangerous spot to be with Don LeGrand running the football.
Absolutely. Canarsie, creature of habit over the years. They've had this same coach, Mike Carmody, for years and years. They focus on the run. They have an outstanding running game. I wasn't too impressed with their passing game. They were 1 for 8. Quarterback Shatim Pratt. So, boy, my take on the matter is if their rushing game is not working, they're going to be in trouble because I don't know if they're going to be able to do anything with the passing game against Curtis.
Charlie, you're right. Canarsie is one of those teams. They're one of those city teams like a Lehman, like a Sheepshead Bay, that Staten Island teams keep running into. Usually this time of year. Curtis played Canarsie last year in the semifinals, beat them 28-0. So they're always very familiar. And a lot of these city teams, Fort Hamilton was a little bit of the exception last year. A lot of these city teams are very similar. They're going to line it up. They want to pound you.
Pound it away.
They want to go at you. The concern with Pratt, I talked to Lou Vesey before the semifinals from Port Richmond. He wasn't worried about Pratt throwing 30 times a game. What he was concerned about was him hurting them on the 7 or 8 passes that he did throw, which is what happened during the regular season with Port Richmond versus Canarsie. Pratt did not have a very good game statistically, but he made some big plays late, and Canarsie got a comeback win. But it does go back to Canarsie's run and Curtis stopping the run. They got Dominic Easley at end, Devon Colbert at the other end. 2 of their offensive linemen are going both ways, Enderley and Solomon. So Fred Oliveri is really counting on those guys to have a big game.
The thing that impressed me about Canarsie last week was their punter, Michael James. He had an average of 36 yards, and he had 2 42-yard punts. Do you see the special teams having a big effect in this game?
When Don LeGrand and Shaheen Alston are your returners, special teams can always have a big effect. Because these guys, I've never seen a team score as easily as Curtis has this year. They just go down, they run, Alston and LeGrand, they get 8 or 9 yards, and then somebody breaks a big play, and they've done it in the return game as well. So that's always something to keep an eye on.
Okay. And I think it's understood that the Curtis Warriors are probably the favorite in this game. But one thing you got to take into account is that Canarsie and their coach Mike Carmody has been through the wars before. They played Tottenville in the 2003 City Championship game. He's a good coach.
These guys have been doing it forever, and it's not a coincidence that you keep seeing Canarsie and Lehman, these teams making a deep run in the playoffs.
Absolutely. Prediction? What do you like?
Well, I think you've got to go with Curtis. They're the #1 seed. They've won 24 out of the last 25 games.
Incredible.
They're averaging over 40 points a game, and I think that's what it comes down to, which is Alston and LeGrand and that offensive line are so good. I can't see Curtis scoring less than, somewhere between 35 and 40 points. So now somebody's got to score 40 points to beat them,
right.
And I just don't see that happening.
For those of you who don't know, they played during the regular season. They played early in the season, and Curtis beat them 44-14. And I do believe that Canarsie is a better team than they were back then, but in my opinion, Curtis simply has too many weapons. Like I said, if they stop their running game, they have their passing game, special teams, their defense can score points, the whole 9 yards. So I also am going with Curtis. I believe Curtis will win 36-12.
Don't forget to check SILive.com on Sunday. We're going to have real-time score updates from the game. Sunday evening we'll have a highlight package from Curtis and Canarsie in the PSAL Football Championship.
And that's all for now. I'm Charlie DeBiase Jr.
I'm Tom Dowd. We'll see you Sunday at the game.
See you Sunday.